Boys, we are back from the dead. Kind of, I'm still a bit sick, but I really wanted to go over one of the best builds this season, which combines Arc 3.0 on Hunters with a pretty surprising exotic. I made a very similar build last season with Solar, but Arc is going to be way better in terms of both ad clearing and damage potential, as we're going to be two hitting champions in GMs. Yo, what's going on, guys? It's G Miners here, and in this video we are going to be combining Assassin's Cowl, which gives us invis on any subclass, with one of the best hunter abilities, which is going to be Combination Blow. Combination Blow is going to allow us to one-hit almost every single ad in GMs when we are 25 levels under power, and then we're also going to be getting health back on each kill, and this health is going to come from Combination Blow, and then it also comes from Assassin's Cowl, so we get two sources of healing with this build on every single melee kill. Then after getting these kills, we're going to be getting anywhere from 7 seconds all the way up to 13 seconds of invisibility depending on the enemy that we kill. So you literally play as an assassin with this build because you just lurk in the shadows, pick your next target, kill them, and then vanish again. Where this build gets crazy is when we throw in our dodge into the combination. This is going to provide our following melee attack with the ability to jolt enemies and create an aftershock. Now the aftershock will drastically increase our melee damage, but then the jolting effect makes ad clear for this build wild and covers an 8-meter range. So as long as something is somewhat close to the enemy you kill, it also dies. In terms of damage, we get a 60% increase from Combination Blow, which stacks multiplicatively 3 times, a 75% increase from the Fragment Spark of Feedback, a 30% increase from Well of Ions, and then lastly a 200% increase from a 1-2 punch shotgun. So our base melee damage and the Chain Lightning gets increased by almost 3,000% with everything stacking, which is equivalent to hitting around 28 melees with just one hit. And this also doesn't even account for the aftershock damage we deal or any other jolt damage that might circle back and hit the original target multiple times. If you guys do like these builds and you want to see more like them, make sure to drop a like and sub down below. We just hit 40k subs, so thank you guys a ton. And with that said, let's hit 50k and check out our Arc 3.0 subclass. For your super, you are going to want to be on Gathering Storm, especially for harder content. You can just throw this out and then continue to use Combination Blow for ad clear. Gambler's Dodge is going to be super important for the combo, as this will give your melee charge back, and all you need to do is dodge near an enemy for this to happen. And then for your melee, you need Combination Blow. This melee does a bunch for us. First off, this is where we gain a 60% increase to our melee damage per stack of Combination Blow that we have, and this lasts 20 seconds, so we have a while to reproc it. And then at 3 stacks, our melee damage is totaled up to 310%. And then also, by getting a kill with this ability, we get our dodge back and a small amount of health as well. So just with our dodge and melee, we can now infinitely chain this ability to easily reach 3 stacks for 300% increased melee damage. I also tend to rock pulse grenades with this build. I feel like these are the best for overload champions, and I also use this whenever my dodge and melee are both gone, as it will allow us to get both back very quickly. Our first aspect is going to be Lethal Current. After using our class ability, our next melee is going to have increased range and applies both jolt and aftershock effects on hit. This is a very simple aspect, but it does a lot for us. First, our ad clear is going to be insane now, and when I say insane, I don't say that lightly. This will quite easily kill everything around you as long as you get one melee kill, and then this also increases our damage slightly against champions. If you manage to go into a kill on a champ after dodging, the aftershock and the jolt combine to deal a huge amount of damage to the point where you can almost one hit. The only downside is that enemies killed by the jolt effect will not trigger Combination Blow, so in cases you need to get a few melee kills in order for the game to register your melee as getting a kill. This tends to only happen at lower stack values because you deal less damage and the jolt is what actually gets the kill. After this, we have on Flow State. This increases our class ability regen whenever we are amplified by 200%, and we are also going to be getting plus 55 reload to all weapons with this and a 97% damage reduction while dodging. Defeating jolted enemies is now what is going to make us amplified, which we are going to be doing all the time, so maintaining these effects is very easy, and this is where our grenade comes in clutch, because this will eventually apply jolt to enemies. So if I ever mess my combo up, I can get a kill with a grenade and have my dodge back to reset the combo in a few seconds. Finally, for our fragments, first is going to be Spark of Feedback. This gives us increased melee damage after we get hit by a melee. This damage increase is 75%, which is very substantial, and it comes in clutch if combination blow isn't stacked enough to one-hit kill an ad, because if something pushes us and melees us, we can then follow up with an even stronger melee. Spark of Ions creates ionic charges when we kill enemies that are jolted. This is going to be another way that we get some increased ability regen, which again is needed if our combo ever gets messed up or if we need our grenade back to deal with multiple overload champions. Spark of Resistance is going to be a solid 25% damage reduction anytime we are surrounded. This means that 2 or more enemies are within 15 meters of us, and it lingers for 5 seconds, which is super nice for when enemies move around, so we can still maintain the DR. Last but not least is going to be Spark of Shock. This gives my grenades the ability to apply jolting effects to enemies on hit, so this is how we are going to get class ability energy back quickly when combined with the aspect Flow State. With Assassin's Cowl, after every single melee kill we get, we proc Invisibility. For miners, this is going to last 7 seconds, which means we have 7 seconds of downtime and safety before we need to get another kill, and these melee kills also give health and shield back. After getting a kill, there is going to be very few times that we aren't near full health, and note that these effects are increased when killing stronger enemies and when landing finisher final blows as well. So taking out a champion will give over 13 seconds of an invis, which is way more than enough time to recover health if need be. I do also prefer to run lightweight shotguns with 1-2 punch. These in general have the best handling, which is great for the build, and don't quote me on this, but I think they might have a better pellet spread as well, which makes 1-2 punch easier to proc. For mods, the only ones I am running are going to be Melee Wellmaker to generate elemental wells that match our subclass on melee kill. So for us, that is going to be Arc Wells. And then I also have Well of Ions, which is a 30% boost in melee damage anytime we grab an Arc Elemental Well. This helps a ton, and I honestly don't even think I had this on for most of the gameplay, so one-shotting champs should be possible with this. And then I do also have on Fontamite because it helps give us a heavy ammo weapon boost if using Storm Chaser or Hothead. This is definitely one of the best solo hunter builds in the game. It has ad clear, damage, tons of survivability, and it's honestly extremely casual to use. The background gameplay you saw for the most part was all in end game content, and depending on the situation you are in, you could even remove lethal current to make this build better in scenarios where you don't want to have good ad clear. I would honestly go as far as to say this could be used in day 1 raids. I think the survivability aspect from Assassin's Cowl makes this better overall, even than with Liar's Handshake. It wouldn't be great for boss fights or damage phases, but for ad clear mechanics and other encounters, it is extremely strong for just using a melee. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, along with some of your other favorite hunter builds. I do also stream over on Twitch. Speedruns and Lowmans should be starting up again now that I'm less sick. A link to that is in the description below, along with my Discord server with any dim links to builds I make. Anyways, that's all for this video, guys. As always, have a good one. Peace.